Let us begin by preparing ourselves for a peaceful and restful night. Your room is quiet and calm. The world outside is settling down, and now it's your time to rest and listen. Lie gently in your bed, wrapping yourself in your favorite blanket. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. With each breath, let your muscles relax. Imagine your body sinking softly into the mattress, your mind growing lighter and your heart feeling calm. Now, let any worries drift away as if carried by a gentle breeze. With every breath, you feel safer, warmer, and more at peace. The gentle sound of my voice guides you into a world of dreams, where you can both relax and learn. Tonight, while you rest, you will listen to a story in English that will help you come more comfortable with the language. Relax, because your mind is clever and open. It will remember many things, even while you sleep. Imagine you are in a small, peaceful village. The roads are lined with cobblestones. The sun shines gently through the clouds, and you can hear the distant laughter of children playing. In this village, there is a little house with a bright red roof and clean white walls. Now, let's meet someone very special who lives there. A small, curious cat named Whiskers. Whiskers is not just an ordinary cat. She is clever, adventurous, and always excited to learn new things. She has soft, gray fur with black stripes and wide, bright eyes that sparkle whenever she sees something interesting. She loves to watch the birds, listen to the wind in the trees, and walk quietly through the garden behind her home. Most days, Whiskers spends her time exploring the yard. She chases butterflies, pounces on shadows, and naps in the warm sunlight that spills through the leaves. But Whiskers is not only playful, she is also very thoughtful. She has many questions about the world. Why do birds sing? Where does the sun go at night? How do flowers learn to open in the morning? There is so many she wishes to know. Her favorite time of day is afternoon, when the air is cool and the shadows grow longer. It is during this time that Whiskers' sense of curiosity is strongest. Sometimes she finds new paths in the garden or hears unusual sounds in the distance, and she cannot help but follow them. One day, as the golden afternoon light inched across the yard, Whiskers spotted something unusual. Behind the old wooden fence at the edge of the garden, she noticed some ivy leaves quietly moving as if inviting her closer. That day, a gentle breeze brought with it the faintest scent of wildflowers. Whiskers' nose twitched. She stood very still, thinking, listening, deciding. Adventure awaited. Breathing slowly and deeply, imagine you are walking alongside Whiskers, feeling the soft grass under your feet and smelling the sweet, fresh air. You are filled with a sense of calm curiosity, ready to see what the world will reveal. As Whiskers moved closer to the fence, she noticed a narrow path hidden by the tall grass. It looked like it hadn't been used for many years. She heard the singing of birds, a sound that seemed to encourage her to take her first steps down this mysterious trail. The path felt magical. Sunlight peeked through the leaves overhead, making everything glow softly, and the earth beneath her paws felt pleasantly cool. Whiskers paused, looking around. The further she walked, the more peaceful she felt, as though the outside world had faded away, leaving only her, the path, and the endless possibilities ahead. Sometimes, new adventures can make us feel a little bit nervous, but Whiskers found that she enjoyed the feeling. She believed that with every step, she would discover something new, learn a new word, or make a new friend. She remembered what her owner once said to her: "Curiosity is a gift, Whiskers. Never lose it." With those words in her heart, Whiskers finally reached the end of the path. In front of her was a thick wall of ivy. The leaves shivered in the breeze, whispering secrets she could almost understand. Whiskers knew this was the beginning of something special, and she could not wait to find out what was hidden behind those green, leafy curtains. As you listen, let your body relax even more deeply. Your mind is like Whiskers, open, curious, and calm, ready to explore, to listen, to learn, even as you rest. And so, as night falls and Whiskers peeks behind the veil of ivy, your journey of learning and relaxation unfolds. You trust the story to gently guide you into a world where English words are as soft as dreams and as easy to remember as the warm touch of sunlight. You are safe here, just like Whiskers in her quiet village at dusk. With your eyes closed and your heart open, you rest deeply, knowing adventure, learning, and peace are all around you. And now, as Whiskers prepares to step into the unknown, you settle deeper under your blanket, breathing slowly and steadily, ready for the magic to come. Part 2. Whiskers discovers the secret garden as the evening sun faded, painting the village in soft shades of gold and lavender. Whiskers pressed her gentle nose against the wall of thick green ivy. She took a cautious step forward, her paws silent on the cool earth. The ivy brushed against her fur as she squeezed through the leafy curtain, feeling excitement and a tiny flutter of nervousness in her heart. On the other side, the world seemed different, brighter, calmer, and somehow full of possibilities. Whiskers stood in a beautiful garden she had never seen before. The air was rich with the scent of blooming flowers and a hint of something sweet, perhaps strawberries or wild honeysuckle. The grass was soft beneath her feet, and playful petals floated on a gentle breeze. Tall trees stood like wise guardians all around the garden, their branches stretching high, forming a protective roof woven from sunlight and leaves. The garden was alive with color. Roses, daisies, tulips, and bluebells bloomed everywhere, their petals open wide as if to greet an old friend. Whiskers blinked in wonder, her eyes full of curiosity. Birds chirped joyfully as they fluttered from branch to branch. Their songs filled the garden with music. Whiskers watched as a ladybug crawled along a blade of grass, while butterfly wings shimmered in the afternoon light. Everything in the garden seemed peaceful and safe, a perfect place for new discoveries. Whiskers began to explore, moving quietly so as not to disturb the creatures around her. She looked behind trees, sniffed the flowers, and listened to the soft whispers of the leaves. Every corner of the garden promised something special, and Whiskers wanted to see it all. Among the flowers, she discovered a narrow path made of smooth stones. Curious, she followed it, enjoying the cool touch of the stones beneath her paws. The path twisted gently, leading her deeper into the heart of the garden, where the flowers grew taller and the songs of the birds became softer and more distant. At the end of the path was a small, round pond. Its surface was so still it looked like a mirror, reflecting the sky and the trees above. Whiskers gazed into the water and saw her own face, her eyes wide with excitement. She watched as a fish darted beneath the surface, sending tiny ripples gliding across the pond. Close to the water's edge, Whiskers spotted a bright red apple resting on the grass. Next to it sat a book with a faded cover, as if it had been left there by someone who enjoyed reading outdoors. Whiskers pawed at the book curiously, imagining the stories and words hidden inside. As she rested beside the pond, Whiskers listened intently to every sound, the gentle buzz of bees, the occasional croak of a frog, the distant laughter of the wind. She closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the garden's peace wrap around her like a soft, comforting blanket. For the first time, she truly understood how wonderful it was to find a secret place all her own. When she opened her eyes again, she noticed something unusual. Near the base of a grand oak tree sat a large, old stone with strange markings. As Whiskers studied the stone, she realized that the markings were actually words, carved so carefully that someone must have loved them very much. She tried to read them aloud, her voice quiet and full of wonder. Adventure awaits those who ask. Words are treasures found in tasks. Open your heart and use your mind. In the garden, new friends you'll find. The words echoed softly, making Whiskers smile. She practiced saying them again, enjoying the feeling of each English word on her tongue. Adventure awaits. Words, treasures. Inspired, Whiskers decided to make this garden her special place to learn new words. She promised herself to return every day, to read, to listen, and to discover new treasures in every corner. Just as Whiskers was about to leave, she heard a soft, wise voice nearby. "Hello, Whiskers," said the voice kindly. Startled, she turned and saw a magnificent old owl perched on the branch above. The owl's eyes were bright, and his feathers were streaked with silver. He looked at Whiskers with warmth and curiosity. "Welcome to our secret garden," the owl said. "You are not alone here. All who arrive seeking to learn are welcome." Whiskers felt her heart fill with joy. She bowed her head respectfully and replied, "Thank you, wise owl. I am here to learn and to understand." The owl nodded, closing his eyes for a moment. In a slow, thoughtful blink, "We learn together and we grow together," he said. "Every day brings a new word, a new lesson, and a new friend." As the sun began to set, casting long shadows and painting the garden in shades of purple and pink, Whiskers knew she was exactly where she was meant to be. With the promise of new adventures and words to learn, she curled up beneath a rose bush, letting the peaceful sounds of the garden lull her into a gentle, happy sleep. And so, under the watchful eyes of her new friend, the wise old owl, Whiskers' journey in the secret garden was only at beginning. Each day would bring new challenges, joys, and words to discover. A perfect adventure for a curious cat, and for anyone willing to learn English while dreaming. Part 3. Meeting the Wise Owl and the First Lesson. As the morning sun shone through the leaves, Whiskers woke to the peaceful sounds of the garden. She remembered the friendly owl's words from the night before and felt excitement bubbling in her heart. The secret garden was bright and full of new possibilities, and today Whiskers knew she would learn her first lesson. She looked up and spotted the wise old owl high above. perched on his favorite branch, his bright eyes sparkling in the sunlight. "Good morning, Whiskers," the owl greeted her gently. "Are you ready for your first word of the day?" Whiskers nodded eagerly. "Yes, please," she replied. "Today's word is adventure," the owl announced. "An adventure is when you try something new, explore new places, or meet new friends." Together they repeated the word, "Adventure, adventure." Whiskers practiced saying it slowly, then quickly, then in a whisper. She tried to use the word in a sentence. "Today, I am having an adventure in the secret garden." The owl smiled warmly. "That's perfect, Whiskers. Can you name an adventure you hope to have someday?" Whiskers thought for a moment, her whiskers twitching. "I would like to climb the tallest tree or meet someone from far away," she confessed. The owl nodded. "Every adventure brings a new word, and every word brings a new adventure." After a while, the owl invited Whiskers to look around and find something in the garden that felt like an adventure. She tiptoed quietly along the winding path and stumbled upon a bright yellow butterfly. Gently, she followed it as it fluttered through the garden, discovering new flowers and funny shapes in the clouds overhead. Every discovery was a small adventure, and each time Whiskers practiced using her new word. Later that afternoon, the owl showed Whiskers a spot near the pond where other animals liked to gather and talk. "Would you like to join us?" he asked. Whiskers felt a little nervous, but curiosity guided her paws, and she found herself surrounded by new friends: a clever fox, a playful rabbit, and a kind hedgehog. They greeted her warmly, and the owl encouraged everyone to share their own adventure stories, each practicing the English word together. Fox: "My adventure was finding a new den." Rabbit: "I had an adventure jumping over the stream." Hedgehog: "I found an adventure under a pile of autumn leaves." Listening to their stories, Whiskers realized how much fun it could be to learn together, and how English words grew easier the more she practiced with friends. That evening, as she lay in the grass beneath a sky full of stars, Whiskers whispered the word adventure again and again, smiling each time it rolled off her tongue. She felt proud of all she had learned and grateful for the wise owl's friendship. As she drifted to sleep, her dreams were filled with new adventures waiting just beyond the horizon. Part 4: New Friends and More Adventures in the Garden. Every day, Whiskers returned to the secret garden. Each time, the wise owl introduced a new English word for everyone to practice together. Curiosity: the desire to learn or know more. Friendship, the feeling of being friends and caring for one another. Garden, the wonderful place where plants and animals grow. Whiskers loved learning these words, repeating them softly as she explored. She invited the fox, rabbit, and hedgehog to join her in looking for hidden corners of the garden. Together they discovered a patch of strawberries, a climbing vine perfect for games, and a shady nook under the willow tree where frogs liked to sing. Whenever someone used a new word in conversation, Whiskers was excited. "What does curiosity mean to you?" she would ask the fox. "Curiosity means wanting to know what makes the sun rise," the fox replied. And the hedgehog would say, "Friendship is sharing a soft leaf on a cold morning." They played word games, inventing new stories, and practicing questions like, "What did you learn today? Who is your best friend? Where do you like to explore?" The owl encouraged everyone to help each other. When someone forgot a word, the others would gently remind them, always patient and kind. Whiskers found that by listening, repeating, and asking questions, English words became familiar and easy. Some days were for adventures, and others were for quiet reflection, softly humming a new word or writing it in the dirt with a careful paw. Sometimes Whiskers would bring a fallen leaf or a shiny pebble to remind herself of a word she had learned. The garden became their school, full of sounds, shapes, and laughter. In the evenings, after the sun had set, Whiskers and her friends gathered around the old stone with the carved poem. Together, they would recite the lines and add their own words, creating a gentle chorus that echoed under the night sky. Adventure, friendship, garden, and dreams. Curiosity shines like moonlight beams. Whisper new words as you drift to sleep. In our garden of learning, memories we keep. Whiskers felt her English growing strong by the day, and she knew her friends were learning too. Their gentle voices and shared stories made every night bright with possibilities. Part 5: Reflection, Growth, and Message for English Learners. One evening, Whiskers climbed to her favorite spot under the big oak tree. The stars sparkled above, and the garden was calm. She knew she had changed so much since discovering the secret garden. Words that felt strange and hard before now felt friendly and soft. Whiskers felt confident, curious, and proud. The owl joined her, looking at the sky. "You have learned many words, Whiskers," he said kindly. "But remember, learning never ends. Every day, there is something new to discover. English grows easiest when you learn with friends, speak from your heart, and open your mind." Whiskers thought about all she had learned, about adventures, curiosity, friendship, and gardens. She realized that learning with friends made each word come alive. By telling stories, asking questions, and listening with care, her English became a comfortable part of her world. Watched her friends playing in the moonlight, Whiskers whispered her favorite words into the quiet air. Adventure, curiosity, friendship. She smiled, knowing she would keep learning every night and every day just by exploring, listening, and dreaming. The wise owl left Whiskers with a gentle blessing. May you always find new words to guide you, and may your dreams be full of learning and joy, no matter where you go or how deeply you sleep. Whiskers, feeling peaceful and content, closed her eyes and let the stories and new words drift softly into her dreams. And so, under the stars, surrounded by her friends, Whiskers rested, knowing that anyone, even someone listening quietly in their sleep, could learn new things and grow in wonderful, unexpected ways. Good night, and may your dreams help you learn and imagine, just like Whiskers in her magical secret garden.